love my players. When what they've done for 9 months, what am I going to do now? Criticize them because we lost a game here in the manner that they tried. And the way they are putting the bodies through everything, some of them that probably they didn't even have to be here today. I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to defend them more than ever. If someone has to take responsibility, that's me. And we have the most beautiful period of the season ahead of us. And now is a moment. In the season, you always have moments, normally 2 or 3. This is the first moment that we have with certain level of difficulty. We're going to say difficulty when we're going to play the Champions League quarterfinals and the run-up for the league. If it's this a difficult period, I believe that there are many other ones that are much more difficult. So stand up, make yourself accountable, and deliver like we've been doing all season.
Every table so far, nothing's coming out. You're standing there, you're screwing me, and you're fucking useless.
Big up to everyone that's locked in. Welcome on back to the Ruthless Gooner. Whether you be ruthless or maybe not like this manager, you will be replaced. Welcome everyone to Code Red Meeting, the first ever Code Red meeting here on this channel. I was going to do one a couple of weeks ago when all shit was falling apart. Shit's not falling apart anymore. It seems like we are on the doorstep of destiny, as they prefer to call it. 2 games away from the Premier League title. 1-0 victory over the Hammers this evening. Not exactly the most convincing of display, shall we say. Lots of controversy regarding a VAR, which is not at all surprising. And yeah, we also asked the defining question of, are West Ham going down since we've now beaten them? I've got 3 amazing people on the panel, and I will be sending putting the link in the chat as well. If anyone wants to come on up there, saying them all, they're welcome to. I got a very good friend of mine. He's first time back on the channel after a long while, but it's great to have him back. Manny, good evening, sir. How are we doing? Hang on.
I'm muted. Yeah, all good. Thank you, good sir. And it is good to be back, as Noel Gallagher would say, strictly Noel Gallagher. And in honor of this Code Red meeting, I've got an energy drink. I do not condone consumption of alcohol online, so a little lesson for a certain popular YouTuber. I will not name him. I'm trying not to shame him. But yeah, these Code Red meetings are going to be... I mean, the thing is about the game today, we are going to have a lot of agreements and disagreements, and I've got some opinions myself that may not really vibe with what a lot of other people will think. But the best part is we always are able to disagree without being disagreeable, and that's why, you know, we're gentlemen. You could say we're a league of extraordinary gentlemen. And I will say we do not want the manager or certain players to fail. We want the team to succeed, unlike certain fans who love the players and managers more than the club. Players and managers come and go, but the club is always the star. Shout out to the Oracle, Kenny Ken himself.
Indeed, mate. Listen, as always, it's great to have you back. It's great to have you back on. The streamer link has been pinned in the chat. I know Jim wants to pop on. So, Jim, if you want to pop on, you're more than absolutely welcome to. No issue whatsoever. Yeah. Dark Side, big up, my bro. Second time on. Hope you're well. Obviously, I've gate crashed your streams on a couple of occasions, including tonight when StreamYard decided to have an absolute mazza for a good 4.5 hours. I mean, BBK has had to push his stream back 6 hours to actually get anything going. But anyway, big up to you, bro. How are we doing?
Firstly, before I answer that question, big up to the rivals. And here's the tears, mate. That's first things first. How am I doing? I'm doing great, man. This is honestly one of the happiest days of my life, man. Like, wow. I've literally not seen the last time I seen my team lift the Premier League title. I was playing with Beyblades in year 4. That's how great. Like, literally, I was a wee pup, mate. I was literally stealing Pokemon cards out of people's book bags. Allegedly. And for us to get that win, it just felt, when West Ham equalized, it just felt like 22-23, 23-24, and just had that same crushing feeling of like, not again. It's back to goal difference. We're gonna bottle it. And then for it to get disallowed, I literally ripped my clothes off, and then a Thierry Henry knee slide through my kitchen about 8 different times. Literally shouting to myself like a kid, going, "Henry!" Literally. So the fact that, you know, we actually got the 3 points by hook or by crook. I don't care about the performance. I don't care about player ratings. I don't care about the manager. I don't care about the conquers. All that matters is that I'm 2 games away from being the most obnoxious prick on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so happy about it as well. Look at my teeth. Look at my Colgate Black Man teeth right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy as damn hell, bro. I'm happy as damn hell.
Dark side, brother. To be fair, you won't be the most obnoxious person. You certainly won't be the only obnoxious one, but I feel you there in a way.
Yeah, man. As we know, it's good to be an Arsenal fan right now. And let's be honest, man. Look, even if I look at things even a month ago, things were looking dark. It was looking dark, man. I remember sitting in my car after that Carabao Cup final and being in tears, man, and thinking that performance and this manager, it's that performance is a reflection of how much of a coward this manager is. Like, we're gonna bottle everything, and then we lost. I was in Napoli sipping on Aperol spritzes, watching us lose to flipping City, and I was like, yeah, season done, mate. Season done. And then all of a sudden, as I said, play Lewis Skelly in midfield. And now, 3 games on the trot, we've got the job done. So let other people speak, but listen, cloud 9, mate. Cloud 9.
No, all on cloud 9 right now, but we can't get too ahead of ourselves. We've still got 2 games to go, and everyone's always being very sort of pessimistic of the fact this manager is going to trip up over himself at some point. I mean, with 2 games to go, you've got to be a different sort of prick to blow this now.
Yeah,
you really have to be.
And realistically, you couldn't have asked for 2 easier fixtures. Burnley
allegedly,
and a Crystal Palace that are probably going to be resting players for that final anyway. So let's be honest, we couldn't have asked for 2 easier fixtures.
Exactly that. Antonio, first time on the channel. Big up to you, bro. I've also been on with you on Jez's channel before, mate. Big up to you, Mo. How have you been?
Thank you, Carl, for having me on your channel, and big up to the panel. Dark Side, first time I met you, my guy. Nice to meet you. Manny and James as well, who we've been on panels together a few times before. I'm fine. All great. Today's result was absolutely imperative. We couldn't afford to draw. I said when I was watching the match, I was walking up and down my living room, just getting frustrated with us not scoring, with us not finishing our chances or losing the ball, etc., etc. I said to myself, look, I'll take it 1-0. I don't know how we get it. I don't care how we get it. Let's just get it done. And we did. And can I just say, David Raya, fantastic. Was when Fernandes for West Ham went through with that chance, I had my head, I was like this, literally like this. And I said, he's going to score. He's going to score now. It's going to be 1-0 West Ham. But then, lo and behold, Raya saved it. Gabriel with another block that when West Ham had a chance, fantastic. The thing that worries me is this manager. He has a habit of reverting back to type, meaning this. Okay, Ben White gets injured, even though it's kind of his fault because Ben White was overplayed and needed surgery because obviously Timber was out and he overplayed Ben White at the time. So he puts Rice at right back instead of putting Mosquera at right back. And you could tell the difference when Rice was taken out of midfield. You could tell the difference that he was missing there. So I'm happy. We're 3 games away from greatness, guys. 3 games away. As Darkside said, I think that Crystal Palace game, I agree with you, Darkside. I think they will rest players, but they've got a Conference League final to think about. They won't care about us. And I will say one last thing before I let James come in. If we can potentially, and I say potential because it'll depend on Man City losing points or dropping points. If we can potentially win the league against Burnley, then we can rest players for the Crystal Palace game. Just rest the players, play the kids, and we can rest our players until the Champions League final so they can be fresh as well. But the worry is now is that with Timber maybe not coming back in time to be fit, Ben White, I think he's finished. It's going to be Mosquera right back against Kvaratskhelia. That's worrying. So, and also the left back situation, there's a situation with, I don't know if Hincapié will be fit as well. Will it be Calafiori? But then Calafiori gets taken off, and then Lewis Skelly from the midfield gets put at left back. So there's these things that this manager does. He reverses the type. He goes back to default settings. But anyway, I won't complain so far. We're 3 games away from greatness. Let's hope we do it. So yeah, up the Arsenal. Let's hope we do it.
One more thing, by the way, before you sign off, yeah. Crystal Palace actually don't have an incentive to beat us either, because if we win the league, we have to pay them extra 10 million with some like clause in Eze's contract. So
Correct.
Crystal Palace have no incentive to beat us on their last day either. Like there's literally they have zero incentive.
Yeah, that's facts.
I disagree. But I'll go into the specifics later on. Let's get Jim Bob in now.
Okay, Jim. Big up to you, bro. First time on the channel. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, good to have you on, Bob. What have you made it so far?
Well, thanks for having me on. Big up to Antonio. Big up to Dark Side. As well, big up to Manny, as always. Well, I watched the game. At the start of the day, I said to my dad, because he's a City fan, I said, I hope Arteta don't fuck it up. I said, you never know, because I said to my dad, West Ham not lost at London Stadium in 2026. And I was watching a match. I said, this is a must-win game for us. And City will drop points at Bournemouth. And I said, get the goal, please. Get the goal. And when they got that goal from Trossard, I was cheering like mad, like, yeah, come on. Yeah, and when West Ham scored, I said, oh my days, not again. And I said to myself, oh, not again. Are we going to bottle it again? They had the hold of Raya, didn't he? That arm like that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the incident regarding a VAR at some point during the stream, because I think it's going to be a big talking point. I've seen a lot of people on the discourse on both sides of things saying it was a foul, it wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll break it all down. Let's just go through the chats quickly. Up Cherries Pod is in the building. Hey, Carl and Manny, hope you are both doing well. Obviously that's Dark Side, and obviously as Antonio said, get the likes up, everybody subscribe when you come in. We've got 7 likes right now, so Static has said, big up to obviously always. I said we beat West Ham, we win the league, we could be crowned champions week on Monday. That's very true. If you look at the Emirates era, we are the biggest flop, 4 FA Cups in 20 years. Disgraceful considering what other teams have achieved. We've absolutely slacked. And there's the stream link for anybody who wants to hop on. Make sure you got a camera. Make sure you got a microphone on you. Make sure we can see you. Although Manny has told me someone might be joining us, and he's already given.
No. He's joining us in the YouTube chat, not backstage.
Okay, fair enough. My apologies to that one. Carl was with the shades. We won the league. No, this is just what you always have now on my shades. Like, you should have said what's with the cap, because I don't wear the cap very often. So there's 2 reasons why I wear the cap. A, because we beat West Ham, because East Londoner, as you know. And 2, this is my grandfather's. God rest his soul. So, yeah. So I thought, sorry, I'll wear this for tonight. You won't see me wear this ever again until, I don't know, maybe the back end of 2027 when West Ham get promoted back to the Premier League again. I don't know. We'll see. West Ham players should have walked off the pitch. Premier League corruption would have ended today. Big up Lee Talks Sense at YouTube. As I said, we're going to get into that as we go along. Dark Side go and shave his hair off live on his stream. Black Are you actually holding yourself to account for that, Dark Side?
No, listen. Let me just clarify one thing. Yeah, what I actually said was, the question was, would you shave your head, and your beard and keep it like that for 1 year? And I said yes, if it guaranteed if Arteta got sacked as well. I looked at the camera and said I'd be a black snooker ball for 1 year, only if it guaranteed the league and Arteta getting sacked. So. but it's not going to happen. Arteta's not getting sacked, so it's not going to happen. And secondly, I did say if we win the league this year, I will shave my beard off live on stream anyway. So I'm definitely shaving my beard off, regardless. My beard is coming off.
That's an absolute letdown. It really is. Always. Big up to Stag. Hey, can't stay. Have a great show. No worries, bud. No worries.
That's it, my guy.
Big up Stag.
I'll tell you, almost lost us the title. His
almost.
Yeah.
The substitutions were questionable, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, anyone that even a freaking 6-year-old that's playing. I don't know if any 6-year-olds are playing FIFA, but you get what I mean. 6-year-olds are playing FIFA on career mode. You would swap your right back out if they were injured for either another right back or B, a centre half that can play as a fullback as well.
Mm.
But he wants to play fucking 42D dimensional chess. And I know what I'll do. I'll put Zubamendi. I'll take him off, and I'll put Zubamendi on, and I'll put Declan Rice at right back. What? Have you not? He seriously hasn't learned from the Thomas Partey incident where his right back kept getting injured, so they throw Thomas Partey at right back. The guy just doesn't learn his lessons.
No. I don't trust him, Cole. I really don't.
Yeah, if we win, it'll be in spite of him, not because of him. And that is something that, these Tibbety top gooners, as a certain person would say, will never understand. And, I remember that moment when Ben White had to come off. And I was saying to myself, for certain reasons, because I'm not a fan of the bloke as an England fan, I told myself, if he's out for the rest of the season, then surely that should be the nail in the coffin for his England hopes. And good, because Kenny Ken agrees with me that he never should have been recalled to the England squad. But then to take him off and bring on someone like a Zubamendi, there's a part of me, and I know that, Antonio, you were saying backstage that the prospect of Mosquera coming up against Kvaratskhelia in the Champions League final will definitely be a bit frightening. I think Mosquera is, to his credit, a really, really good defender and a good defensive option, but he is not a specialist right back, so I do understand your fear. But the thing about Ben White is that, he can't defend for Tuffy. It's like, you put him in front of any pacey left wing and he's going to get cooked. Ben's going to get cooked like an egg white frittata omelette, and we see that right now. And let's not forget that he was primarily signed as a centre-back, and due to a moment of, serendipity, some people might say genius, he's now, he's been playing at right back ever since, and done okay in some games, but not so okay in others. And when he brought on Zubamendi, I was thinking, what sort of chicanery is this fool trying to do now? And lo and behold, the worst part about him bringing on Zubamendi is that you could see we started to lose a little bit of the attacking potency we had, because all of a sudden, one of the Lewis Skelly had to go back into the fullback area, where I thought he was playing a big role in helping us dominate the midfield. And, we were the better team for the first few minutes. And I remember saying on Twitter that Konstantinos Mavropanos was doing his bit to get his invitation to the parade revoked. And I was saying to myself, you know what? We just have to be patient and we'll get the goal. But, the longer the game on, the more difficult we found it to break down. Saka was, taking pot shots from well outside the area, and they weren't hitting the target. And I was telling myself, Christ alive, here we go again. Now, I will say that we've shown that we are made of, a little bit sterner stuff. But any fan of a champion team will know that you cannot allow yourself to just take your foot off the accelerator and end up, being pulled back. And I know that Craig from Up the Chasenal Departments is really, 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 I won't say sympathetic, but he's a huge admirer of Arsenal and would definitely love us to win the league. And I hope we can too. But, his former player, Callum Wilson, very nearly broke our hearts, only for that goal to be rightly chalked up, because it was a foul on David Raya. And, you know, the sad part is, once again, we need to look at the bigger picture and realize that we're having yet another injury. And who's to say that we're not going to get any more injuries next time in our next two games against Burnley and against Crystal Palace? And the thing is, as well, this is always going to be the time of the season when we end up, you know, choking due to some bad result. And the minute we start to think, you know, if you're a James Bond fan, if you remember that scene in GoldenEye when Alan Cummings' character sort of, you know, at the very end, he jumps up from his chair and says, "Yes, I am invincible!" And then all of a sudden, these containers of liquid nitrogen explode and freeze him up like an ice lolly. So it is never over until it's over. And, you know, let's say, for example, Manchester City do put a beating on the Crystal Palace team, who probably, as Darkside has said, have a bit more incentive to, you know, beat Manchester City rather than beat us. Be that as it may, you know, City will have had a lot of confidence from their win at Brentford. They know that they should never have mucked it up the way they did against Everton. And so, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll be hoping that the Eagles will, you know, do us a favour by, you know, defecating all over them. But again, it's going to be back to a 2-point deficit. And then let's not also assume at this rate that the Burnley game is going to be straightforward. Because although Aston Villa defended horribly, they held the Europa League finalists, Unai Emery's boys, to a draw today. And they do have some players who are, you know, very capable of, you know, catching us unawares, catching defences unawares, not least the likes of Jadon Anthony, our former youth player who actually scored today. So if we're not careful, we actually could end up getting caught out. And that is when we become complacent and think, you know, these games are going to be a walk in the park. That is when we start to lose focus and we end up, you know, we could end up losing it. Craig in the chat will also remember that Bournemouth game at the Emirates in 2022-23. We did actually win that game with a breathlessly late Reece Nelson winner. But that actually was the game, as, you know, Kenny Ken and a few others might agree, that actually started the rot as we ended up conceding too many goals and we ended up losing the title. So, listen, I'm not going to assume that that things are over yet, because we still have to win our games. It is never over until it's over, and there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. And then going to the game against Crystal Palace, yes, they do have a really big fish to fry in terms of their Conference League final. But let's also not forget that this is going to be their last game at home for the season, and it's also going to be Oliver Glasner's last game at Selhurst Park. Do you not think that the players would be all the more determined to make sure that, in order to thank him for the role he's played this season and throughout his time at Selhurst Park, they'd want to send him off at home? Of course they would. So, yes, it may be a question of getting $10 million more if Ebery Eze wins the league with Arsenal, but then what about the fans? Let's also not underestimate how important it is to make sure that you get into good form and get into some good momentum before a major final. And that's a lesson that Aston Villa aren't, you know, heeding at all. And if they're not careful, they could end up losing it all. So I'm not going to say we are a few games away from greatness, because the closer we get, the more frequently we see to stumble. Buongiorno, Gianni. Lovely to see you again. And,
Johnny, my guy, man.
What's going on, guys?
And we need to make sure that we just keep doing what we're doing and not get too giddy about this. Because if anyone remembers, we beat Bournemouth 3-2 and everybody was screaming, stuff the champions, stuff the champions. And then we end up completely, fading away. There is no guarantee that we will not, stumble against either Burnley or Crystal Palace. So all I will say to all of you is never assume that it is over until it's over. There are still going to be some, twists in the tail. And Craig did mention that he hoped that Bournemouth would do us a favour by beating City. I'm not too sure we can really hope for that, because Antoine Semenyo and Nathan Aki will be determined to, go back to their stomping ground and come away with all 3 points. We've got to do our bit. We've got to make sure that we keep our feet on the ground, because we are not invincible or unforgettable, as Thierry Henry might say, just yet. There's still many a slipper between the cup and the lip, you will see. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done the accent. That's so funny.
That's all right. Before I throw over to Anthony, My Italian American brother from another mother has just turned up. Gianni, big up, my bro. We haven't seen you for a few weeks. I hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well.
Everything's going decent. Some certain shit going on over here that I had to take care of. So I should be back streaming this week. But how are you guys doing?
All good, mate.
All good, my guy. All good.
Hey, Gianni, man, your voice is top tier, bro. Your voice is top tier. I thought I was watching a movie for a second, then I was literally like, where's the popcorn?
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, people say that I've got the voice for the radio, but this guy has a better one like him.
I was literally sitting back thinking,
you could do a mafia documentary, Gianni.
Manny, you got a voice for a channel. I digress.
That's true. Big up to PFC, bro. If you use that profile picture on Shane's fucking Full Irish tomorrow morning, he's gonna remove your membership. I guarantee it right now. Look at the state of that, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She won't like that.
That's bad enough. AFC always started a couple of the chats here. Arsenal will have to pay an extra 40 million to Chelsea for Havertz if they win the Champions League. Arsenal will pay Chelsea another 20 million for Badawaki if they win both UCL and Premier League. Fuck me. Even Chelsea are in the shit, they're still fleecing us.
Unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable.
That's terrible. And also, he's also happy birthday to the legend that is Dennis Bergkamp. It is Dennis Bergkamp's birthday today. Big up to the Dutch Destroyer. Absolute quality. Johnny, what did you make of the game today? Nail bite. It was quite tense for most of the time. It felt like at the time that no one was gonna score. We eventually did with controversy at the end. Mm-hmm. But what have you make of it? How are you feeling now going into the back end final 2 games of the season?
I kind of am along more of the positive side right now that I think the season's over, because I think the Burnley game, once we win that, the game's over, and I don't see. Here's my only thing, and this is going to now try to create some controversy. I think Arteta should still be sacked, because the fact that we paid that much money for Zubimendi when we've been screaming for Lewis Skelly to be in the midfield, and we look a completely different fucking team with Lewis Skelly in the midfield, which all of us have been calling for since the beginning of the year, that Skelly should have been getting minutes in the midfield. Listen, there were talks when the news broke that Calafiori said he had unfinished business at Rome, that he wanted to go back, and Zubimendi said he'd be open for a move to go back to Spain. Get rid of his bum ass immediately. Immediately. You're going to get extra money for winning the Premier League. Take the fucking loss. Get rid of his ass. Skelly has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is the true box-to-box guy that we need to get the best out of Rice as that holding midfielder. And we look such a better fucking team, more fluid in the – magically, Lewis Skelly makes everybody look better, and everybody has picked up their game with the freshness of the legs of Lewis Skelly in the midfield. I mean, maybe he's been in bad form for 4 months, but fuck, I wish this Trossard was showing up the last two previous months. Otherwise, this damn league would have been over with already. Mm-hmm. Listen, the end, it is what it is. Yes, it ended in controversy, and I think we got lucky, because just as much as you can say, yes, Raya was fouled, you could have said even before the Raya foul that Declan Rice could have been guilty for a penalty at the same time with the push in the back. So it is what it is with that whole call. Personally, I don't think Burnley is in any scenario to where I'm too worried about it as long as we play. Now, here's a question that I got for all you guys. Mm-hmm. The American broadcast over here, they said that Calafiori was taken out of the game, but not for an injury, but for tactics. Did they say the same thing in England?
Yeah, I was actually watching the US. I was watching the USA coverage here. Okay, and they didn't exactly say that. They exactly said that.
Because I called Aaron. I was on the phone with Aaron for about 20 minutes, maybe a couple hours ago, right after the game was over, and he was saying he didn't hear anything of it, because that was my only worry. But because magically, when we go back to Arteta ball, when Skelly goes back out to left back and Zubimendi's brought in, magically nobody knows how to go forward no more. Everybody forgets that the ball's round and not fucking square. Mm-hmm. that alone, the fact that he threw Zubamendi in and then had to take him right back out proves he's useless. He's not worth the fucking money. Get rid of him. And that Arteta, I'm sorry, if you win the league this year, but you revert back to type next year, you're going to have to take your papers and get the fuck out the club. Like, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt because he's going to win. I think we're on to win the league. I think once the Burnley game's over, I think we're beating Burnley and this league is over with. Now, Champions League final, listen, I didn't think that we would beat Atletico. I honestly did not think that we were going to get past Atletico. However, I think Diego Simeone got his tactics wrong in the first game to why we ended up winning. I thought Diego Simeone was 100% out of line for trying to play more possession-based. With how bad we had been in possession walking into that first game, the way that he tried to play possession, didn't try to get Arsenal to attack more and counterattack, I thought he got his game plan 100% wrong. This game of what we just saw with West Ham, we cannot revert back to type because if we get Miles Lewis-Skelly and Mosquera as the fullbacks, we're going to get done just like Inter got done in the Champions League final last year. I don't care what anybody says. They already confirmed it in France. Hakimi is going to be healthy for the final, and it sounds like they're resting him through the remaining league games to make sure that he's 100% ready to go for the final and then going right into the World Cup. So we're not going to get lucky with Zaire Emery playing as that right back for them going into this. So for me, just get the Burnley game done, and then we'll reassess what's going to happen for the Champions League. I'm not that confident about the Champions League, if I'm being quite honest with you. Just get me this league title for right now, and we'll reassess what's going on for that. Listen, man, if Spurs win tomorrow, that Somerville kid, he needs to get looked at as being a bench winger for Arsenal for this left wing.
Yes.
This dude was dancing all over our ass. And this kid's been doing that the whole fucking time he's been at West Ham. We've been talking about how bad this left wing position is. I'm sorry. Martinelli and Trossard, I don't care if you help us get over the line now. Get the fuck out. You help us win. Cool. Appreciate it. Get the fuck out. Get that Somerville kid in there because they're going to have to sell him for a low amount of money because they're going to get relegated. Go get his ass and go find somebody else to be a replacement for that left wing. But that kid, I like that fucking kid. He's got some balls on him, the way he likes to go and attack with his free-flowing mentality. Overall, listen, David Raya, you might as well hand him the MVP of the season.
Yeah.
You might as well hand him the MVP.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't want to hear no more slander about this guy. This guy, is he the best goalkeeper in the world? No, because if you stuck a gun in my head, I'm still taking Thibaut Courtois in a heartbeat over him. But besides that, this guy has been absolutely phenomenal. He's been making crazy save after crazy save. I still believe that the manager's tactics is the reason why he's due for fuck-ups when he's trying to play with the ball at his feet. I think if a different manager came in, you wouldn't see that from Raya, but it is what it is because Arteta's going to stay once this league is over and we've won it. But Raya, he's MVP of the season. MVP of the season by far for me this year. And I just want to say, listen, as shaky as the game was and as nervy as the game was, I think it's showing that we're pushing our way through. Gyökeres might have to win most improved player because where he started at the beginning of the year and where he's finishing the season at, when everybody was talking, when you had so many people talking about let's get rid of him in the winter time, in the winter transfer season, and find another striker and restart Havertz. Nah, man, this dude is showing this is exactly the guy that we needed for this team. So all in all, it was a shaky performance. We got it done. The good thing though is that the players are showing that Mikel's favorites should not be here to stay. Even if Odegaard got the assist for the Trossard goal, he's no longer needed at this club. We can get rid of him. Eberiche Eze should be the starting 10 going forward for next season to continue the upbuild for this team. And listen, we're one win away. Go get the win against Burnley. Who gives a fuck what City does because it's no longer in their hands. Just get the win at Burnley. Get this fucking season over with. I don't even give a rat's ass if you throw the last game against Palace just so that you get over the line. Rest everybody because we need everybody and we need anybody and everybody if we're going to try to beat this PSG team. And that's my thoughts for right now.
That's exactly what I said, John Nee. I said, look, if we could potentially win the league against Burnley, depending on Man City dropping points, because it's going to come, because it has to come to that. If we can win the league against Burnley, as you said, and I said it before as well, absolutely, rest the players against Palace, play the kids.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well.
Yeah, agreed.
No, I wouldn't rest. I wouldn't rest the first teamers. You still have to assume that City. It's going to be a 2-point margin. If it's a 2-point margin, then no, too close to.
No, Manny, we're saying if the league is still in the balance come the last game, you got to play the starting 11. But if the season's over,
that's true.
Bench everybody.
Yeah,
then that's fine. Then that's fine.
Bench everybody and get everybody rested for this fucking PSG game because this PSG
exactly, yeah. That's what I meant, Manny. Like, if we can win against Burnley, the league, depending on Man City dropping points, rest the players until the Champions League final, if we can.
That's fine.
And Palace will be in the same sort of boat as well, because obviously they'll be
exactly cold,
because they've got the Europa Conference League on the following Wednesday. So and that's Oliver Glasner's final game for under Palace because he's leaving. So he wants to send them home with the European trophy as well. Just gonna quickly go through the chat quickly. Where are we? PFC says, Gianni, you need Gattuso to take over Arsenal as your favourite. I love his camaraderie in his gusto, but he's a bit.
Don't get Johnny started, please.
Somebody needs to put a bullet in the back of Gattuso's head. Who the fuck needs him?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Let's talk about the controversy that happened. Okay, so it's not so much of the fact that it's obviously it ruled a goal, then ruled not a goal. It was the fact that it went to VAR. They spent like 5 minutes trying to dive around what the hell's wrong with it, only then to go back to the referee to say, "Oh, you go check at the monitor, go look for us because we don't. We're signing." It's like it's not so much of a decision making; it's consistency that we want at the end of the day. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that Raya made an absolute meal out of it. I've seen people turn around and say that, he was fouled and whatnot. I've watched the replays on a couple of different angles now, on a few times. I've seen them given and I've seen them not given. That's my conclusion to it anyway. Who wants to take the floor this one? Who wants to?
I'll go first. I mean, I actually remember watching the entire incident unfold, and my first reaction when that shot went across the line from Callum Wilson was, an absolute choker. I was actually tweeting some live updates about the game at certain crucial points, and I was telling myself an absolute choker, but then I ended up saying, was Raya fouled though? And then my reply was a 2-word reply, just not even 2 words, disallowed, relieved. Yeah, 2 words you could say. Now, when you take a look at that, obviously, the reason why, Carl, that the referees are called over to the monitor for certain decisions is because VAR's duty is to sort of present the evidence in a better light to aid the referee with his decision. And sometimes we've seen in certain cases the referees actually go against the word of the VAR. But what they did was they took a look at the entire evidence in its entirety, and they found that Pablo's arm, his left arm, you see over there in that central, in that second picture, it is literally on Raya's upper chest, not across his neck as people were trying to dramatically believe. I mean, have some shame, you idiots. But it was, his arm was on his upper chest, and it was also on Raya's left arm. Now, Raya didn't make a meal of that. And as much as I'm not Raya's biggest fan, I don't consider him to be the best all-round keeper because he is very weak on long shots, as was shown in certain cases, like the Bueno equaliser at... not the equaliser, but one of the goals at Molineux. He's not the best all-round keeper, but when it comes to crosses and corners, he does his bit. He doesn't try to be Superman and jump when he can't jump, and he gets himself into the right position. And that ball was perfectly in a position for him to claim it quite easily. But because Pablo is actually, in a way, holding Raya's left arm, he flaps at it and can't, catch it. And so then it falls, it goes pinball about, and then Callum Wilson has a huge strike, which, no keeper will stop, and Declan Rice couldn't prevent going over the line. But Raya was impeded, and there's also a little point in the back where you see, I think it was number 25, Tadibo, who was who was actually not ending, who was pulling Raya's shirt. I'm sick and tired of people who see it fit to, pull people's shirts in the penalty area and think that, you can get away with it. You know that cameras' eyes are on you, and you know that doing something that blatant will be dangerous. And yes, Nikola Milenkovic, I'm talking to you. You thought you could get away with yanking Pau Torres in the penalty area in a semi-final of the Europa League? You silly Billy. So, in a nutshell, West Ham can have no complaints about the decision. The only thing I would say is it took a little bit of a long time because, they wanted to make sure they looked at the evidence on all sides, because there was some question as to whether or not there might have been an Arsenal foul or two in the penalty area. I don't think that was in any way considered. There was nothing really in that. But shirt pulling is really a problem. And there might have also been an occasion when an Arsenal defender was pulling one of their shirts. But I think they took the weight of the evidence and saw that Raya was impeded. And so chalking off the goal was the right decision. And as poorly as we played in that game overall, especially in the second half, until Odegaard and Havertz came on, and I say well done to those two for making me eat humble pie. I just think that we got out of jail today. It has to be said, and that's another reason why I am not sharing the confidence that we will end up winning this league, because Burnley, as I said, played really well against Aston Villa. Aston Villa didn't defend the ball well today, and I think Tyrone Mings' days are done. But they do have some players who can cause some problems. That Fleming fella really looks good. Don't forget Jadon Anthony, who's the ex-Arsenal youth player, who was also at Bournemouth. Big up to a Bournemouth fan, Carl, by the way. And no, big up to Talk Fan TV, by the way. And they can cause us some problems if we end up being a little bit too complacent. So we still have to win our games. Let's not assume that things are done. But this decision, the VAR people got it spot on. They took all of the evidence and they got it right. The only issue, though, is there have been similar fouls committed earlier in the season, which were not considered. I would say that maybe some of those fouls were probably not as blatant as this one. But this is another reminder why referees and the people from the PGMOL have got to get together every preseason and iron out the guidelines as to what constitutes a foul or not, what constitutes an offside or not, how the technology should be used, and so forth. The problem is, Carl and the panel, the Premier League bigwigs love the controversy more than anything else. They love controversy more than efficiency, because controversy sells. It puts backsides on seats and keeps the dosh rolling in. But in the long run, people are going to be really angry and upset with inefficiency, and they're going to lose a lot of hardcore fans. So what I would say to the referees and the people from the PGMOL is, get your act together, gentlemen and ladies, if you're on the board, because what we're seeing right now is inconsistency in excelsis, and it will put off more and more fans than you think. Let me tell you.
That's money, yeah.
That's pretty much very self-explanatory. I mean,
I'll go next afterwards. Go ahead.
Yeah, but looking at the pictures itself, you can just there is deliberate contact there to be with the actual pull of the shirt there, the arm around the chest as well, which does kind of stop Raya from trying to jump in a certain way. When you're being pulled one way, you haven't pushed off the other. I don't know. It's all a game time situation. So what we've seen is just basically from still shots and from slow motion replays. We haven't really seen it from a full fast from the fast pace when the ball got kicked from the corner. So it's difficult to see. Antonio, do you think that's the same thing regarding what Manny said?
Yeah, I do share Manny's sentiments. Absolutely. As you can see from there, it was a foul right, but also as well, Hermansen, the West Ham goalkeeper, actually flew himself into Gabriel at the same time as well. And anywhere on the pitch, that would have been a foul anyway. So whether the Raya situation, say for example, if that was not given, maybe the situation with Gabriel, Hermansen flying into him would have been looked at. And the reason why all that took long, which was ridiculous, as Lee Gunner would say, shout to him, the dramas. We just love the dramas here. instead of like, just getting like things like sorted out ASAP. Now, West Ham would feel that they were unjustly, a decision being given against them in regards to maybe a penalty shout, whether it was or not, but they thought it was. And also, our fans cannot complain about VAR anymore. We're now called Varsenal. Apparently, all over social media, Varsenal or Vasinal, yeah? Because we've had decisions given against us justly and unjustly, so we can't complain about referees now this season, yeah? But also as well, what pissed me off about this situation here, the reason why it led up to this was because towards the end, I was so frustrated and shouted at the TV, keep the ball. You're giving away fouls. You're giving the ball away. You're allowing West Ham to have corners towards the end. You're allowing West Ham to launch balls into the box where anything can happen. You're getting unnecessary yellow cards. Saliba kicking the ball away. Trossard, and I think Mosquera probably got a yellow card as well. Mm-hmm. That's what really pissed me off. And there was nobody on the pitch, or even Arteta himself, or maybe he did, and maybe no one listened. We don't know. But there should be somebody on that pitch or maybe on the sideline say, look, guys, calm. Keep the ball. You're giving the ball way too much. You're giving away fouls. You're getting yellow cards. Calm down, guys. Keep the damn ball. Launch it towards the other side of the pitch. Try and take it to the corner. Waste a bit of time. That's why all this led to that. And we got very lucky with that decision, by the way. So we have to count ourselves lucky that we had decisions given for us this season. We can't complain about referees now, all you top gooners, yeah? So, but thank God it went our way. But as I said, all this led up because we didn't keep the ball. We committed unnecessary fouls and got unnecessary yellow cards. So that's my opinion.
No, listen, I completely agree with you on that. We do have a Hammer fan in. It's Tony. Big up, Tony. I was supposed to be there for the clear and obvious. If you wait 7 minutes to make a decision, it's not clear and obvious. He does have a point to that. He does have a point to that degree. Tony, the Streamline link is pinned in the chat, mate. If you want to pop on and come on, have your say and talk about what did the Hammers go from here, then you're more than welcome to pop on, mate. No worries at all. Dark Side, do you concur?
Yeah, I completely disagree with that. Just because it took them 7 minutes to make a decision doesn't mean it's not clear and obvious. For me, it's clear and obvious. Man, listen, I've done jiu-jitsu before. He had David Ryan and rear naked choke, for fuck's sakes. Like, it's a clear and obvious.
That's a bit, mate. Come on.
Come on, Dark Side. I said it earlier. It wasn't around his. It wasn't on his neck. It was on his upper chest. Calm down.
Calm down.
Look at him, bro. It looks like when I go to a family function, the Jamaican uncle hasn't seen you in ages. Listen, Mayo, when I see you in ages, you know. You know what I'm saying? And then on the reverse angle, I can't remember what. I don't know if it's not Mavropanos. I can't remember what player it is, but he's holding on to the back of Ryan's shirt for about 8 seconds, bro.
We got Tony on.
Tadibo, Dark Side.
Yeah, so for me, I'd completely disagree with that. I get, obviously, you're a Hammers fan and obviously you're fuming, but two things. Number one, like, I don't care what you say. We deserve to win that game, number one. And number two, the reason why you're in this situation is because of yourselves. Don't blame us for being in this situation.
No. I'm not blaming that. We know where we are.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, Dark Side, I was happy to sit in the chat until you said your comment. If you look at it at the end of the day...
You're here!
Yes. Yes, I'm actually here. Yes.
Nice to meet you, James, by the way. Nice to meet you, James.
Yeah.
It wasn't a photo.
That was a proper Looney Tunes moment. I need to... If I don't see you, you don't exist. I'm not going to turn around.
Now, look, at the end of the day, and that when you think about it, yes, we are where we are because of that reason alone. 38 games in, we didn't get it. We haven't done enough. Pure and simple. If you look at the decision, and the reason why I say it's not clear and obvious, if you take as long as it did, and this, but not just this game, we've seen it throughout many games this season, where VAR have taken so long to make a decision, and it's supposed to be there to be clear and obvious. Now, when you look at it, the one thing you guys are not talking about, there's the push from Trossard onto Pablo. You've also got Declan Rice. For some reason, he loved the Greek god. and he clinged on to him for dear life because he wanted to take him home with himself.
Yes.
In Mavropanos. You know, the problem is this: the foul is already there. Hermansen, I don't know what that man was thinking because he missed everyone at that point. He jumped in and completely ended up in the goal mouth. Yeah. So when you look at things like that, but now admit to this, dark side, yeah. How many times have you seen your guys pull, push, grab, and get away with it? Yeah.
Listen, I'm not a deluded Arsenal fan. I
did say you were.
I know you didn't. But I'm just caveating that I'm not a deluded Arsenal fan. When we're in the wrong, I can admit it. Like we've been. I don't like this set piece like dark arts. I don't like any of it. I've been saying for ages. Switch back to the 22-23 Thomas Partey progressive football style so we can actually win games. Take teams to the fucking sword and be 3-0 up at half time. So there's no like, oh, we should have got this, we should have got that. I don't want to be making excuses. We should have won this league at Forest away. This should have been wrapped up. We should have been able to lose this game to you so we can relegate Spurs. That was the ideal situation. I said, listen, we need to pick up points so we can give West Ham the points so we can fucking relegate Spurs. I didn't even want to be having this conversation. I want to be here laughing that we've been spanked 5-0. I want to be here laughing. I've seen my captain's armpit, and that Spurs are going down because I fucking hate Spurs. I don't have a problem with West Ham. I've never had problems with West Ham.
Facts.
West Ham fans have always been cool with me, but
see, look,
listen,
you know, when you look at the problem is as well, if you look at it, this just sums up our season, and this is where I kind of lay a little bit of the blame on Nuno, as I've already alluded to other shows. When you think about it, you know, you know, we take the lead in the game, and then throughout the season, he's lost us 22 points.
Yeah.
22 points. We're not having this conversation now. We're safe.
Exactly. We're laughing at Spurs, having a good old time, getting on the Guinness. You know what I'm saying?
It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But, I'm glad you recognise me in the corner anyway, Darkside. You know, I appreciate that.
Yeah, not my proudest moment, I can't lie. Not my proudest moment, I can't lie.
And let me just say this, joking aside, yeah? You said about the Dark Arts, maybe you might need to reconsider changing your name. Yeah,
well, actually, funny, actually, I did a under the lens of views. The last question was actually how I actually came to got my name, and then he cut the stream off. So it's actually a funny story behind my name.
See, that's dark arts in itself. There you go, straight away.
There you go. There's actually like a funny reason behind my name, but yeah.
By the way, Hammer Football TV, nice to meet you. First time on the panel with you, my brother.
And you as well.
Tony.
And James as well. I've seen you on panels with Jez, so nice to meet you.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Hammers? Yeah. Do you think if you win your next 2 games, you still have a chance of staying up?
Absolutely.
Okay, well that's good. I hope you win your next 2 games, man. Because I need Spurs to go down. Because lifting that title and Spurs going to the Championship would be, honestly, if that happens.
I mean. This is sorry to interrupt you, Carl. I mean, this is the one thing that people were saying that, you know, North London would be euphoric in the fact of you win the league, and your North London neighbours go down. You know, for us, in certain respects, as much as it'll be a bit of pill, it'll be a lovely bit of pill to take to see that kind of thing. Because obviously, yes, there's a lot of West Ham fans don't like Arsenal. But there's a lot more West Ham fans that hate Tottenham. So when you look at it, it's a double-edged sword. But we're happy to sit on the pointy stick and take that pain.
Yeah. But Hammer Football TV, what about Millwall coming up?
We'd relish that. Back to the old days. Jez will tell you this as well. We know that. Yeah, Jez knows. Yeah. You know, we look forward to those days. Kind of, mind you, Millwall's a bit more of a reserve team these days, not like the old days kind of thing. But you know, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to be fair, I've been to Millwall games, man. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Now, Tony, big up to you, mate. Thank you for coming on. Much appreciated. And obviously, it's commiserations to your team. Obviously, we need to find out how badly it's going to go now for the final 2 games of the season for you. As Darkside has alluded to, if you win your next 2, the final 2, you might be able to stay out, but you're going to need Tottenham to blow a gasket against Leeds, Chelsea, and it's Everton. I think they play in the final game of the season at home.
Yeah, it's Everton.
So that's going to be that's just going to be a tough ask. And the fact is, Leeds and Nottingham Forest can thank us for the victory because now they're definitely up. They're staying up, so they can thank us for that. Jez, sir, talk about the game, mate. How do you think it's all panned out with 2 games from the title? But it wasn't an easy watch, was it?
No, it wasn't. Tony, we've got to stop meeting like this, mate.
Let's start talking.
Yeah, I think something's going on here, mate.
Pause.
The wife's going to start asking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no.
Well, I think if you look at just, we'll have to do this for you, just kind of, just to remind you that, I do want to do this on my show, but now I'm not on a different show. I can do this now. I can actually do this now. I'm happy to do it. Or if you look at it, just to make you guys feel a bit more happy and that, because this is the best part about it. If you was a Spurs fan, would you want this as your new merchandise?
Love it. Love it.
I can definitely speak on behalf of all Arsenal fans as well, that as much as some of our children may be very fond of Peppa Pig, we would never, ever consider doing anything that crass. And the worst part is that with a huge Jewish fan base, the fact that they'd even consider doing that is also completely tone deaf.
The irony, Manny, the irony, when you look at something like that, it's like when I saw this the other day and I thought, am I actually hearing rightly there? And also then someone actually put that thing up on the screen and it's like, wow, that I thought we had gone to bad levels, but when you see that just takes it to, that takes it to the phantom zone.
The first time I saw that, I think it was on Henry Talks Football. And as soon as I heard it, I spat my coffee out immediately because it was like, what? Please tell me this ain't true. And I actually went online and thought, oh, fuck it, it's true. So by that then, the Peppa Pig world in Bolton Park down there where I live in Romsey, are they selling Tottenham shirts then if that's the case? Is it like a couple of collaborative effort? I don't know.
Oh, my days, yeah.
To answer your question, mate, and big up to the illustrious panel we got here tonight.
Hey, big up, Jez.
Right. Yeah, it was a rocky road, wasn't it? Started well, slackened off. Unfortunately, Ben White went off injured. Knee injury. I think that's him out for the rest of the season now.
Yeah.
I had to question his tactical change in putting Skelly at left back. Why didn't he bring on my squarer? But hey, we got it over the line. Big controversy. I just watched it a game on Match of the Day, actually. There's about 2 or 3 things going on there. But Tony and I, on his panel earlier, we debated it, we looked at it, talked about it, and I think everybody agrees I'm right.
I was eyewitness, so I concur.
as the great Brian Clough used to say, that we talk about it for 20 minutes, and they'd all agree I was right. But yeah, and it was a bit controversial. And I raised the point again that I something I never really thought about before. Right, the referee gives the goal, VAR jump in, VAR take 5 minutes to analyse it, and then they give it back to make the referee make the decision. What's the point of VAR then? What is the bloody point? You can't be judge and jury, but yeah, we got it over the line. I'm pretty much confident that that's the league is now Arsenal's. Burnley, the Emirates, they'll make it hard, but I don't think they've got enough under the bonnet to actually cause any too much trouble. And Palace away, they've got their eye in Europe now. They're in their first European final. So they're going to want to get that over the line. And that leaves it big celebrations for the Premier League. It could be done next week. Let's get it right. If things go our way, it could be done. Man City cock up. Not saying I don't think they will, but you never know. Stranger things happen. And then we can celebrate that one and move on to PSG, which will be a massive, massive, massive game. One thing I hope we don't do is get any more injuries to key players. We can't afford that, man. Can't afford that. But yeah, looking forward to it. I've got the bottle of champagne. It's in the fridge, and I've had that for 4 years now. It's pretty gone flat, but
the thing that worries me is.
Sorry, mate. Let me just put this bit.
Go ahead.
This just goes back to the thing again. So when you look at this, I mean, James Me 20 also said this as well. The fact is saying here there were 2 minutes and 35 seconds between the ball crossing the line and Chris Kavanagh being sent to the monitor. He then watched 17 replays of the incident.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, is that clear and obvious? Obviously not.
Nope.
You know, when you look at it like that.
That's not.
Then it took a total of 4 minutes and 17 seconds between the ball crossing the line and the foul being awarded. You know, and look, if it happened to you guys, you'll be screaming Merry Hell. If it was any fan for their teams, they'll be screaming Merry Hell. And this is where, you know, we said on our show earlier with Jez and the panel, it's the fact of VAR have got some serious overhauling to do. I mean, Manny's alluded to it just a minute ago before I jumped on. At the end of the day, and that we know we've got the wrong people running VAR, and until they get the right things in, and that it will never be correct until that point. And unfortunately, teams will suffer from it.
Let's just get rid of the linesman. What do they actually do in a game now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That linesman, that decision about the West Ham goal. That linesman had a clear line of sight. Right, and he didn't say it. I watched it again now. He doesn't put his flag up. He doesn't know it signal anything. What is the point of them?
Yeah, fuck.
Point of paying.
Waste of time, Jez. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do anything to the game. And I just want to say this before I shut up. Let other people talk. I'll be very upset if it's Arsenal. I said this to Tony on his show. If Arsenal are the ones that have sent West Ham down, because. I've got a lot of time for West Ham, apart from the 1980 Cup final. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a bit of an upset for Arsenal, I think, because the hate is bigger between Arsenal and Spurs, and if Spurs go down, unlucky. See you. But yeah, West Ham, man. I mean, the club's got a lot of history, and I've got a lot of time for the fans. I've got a lot of West Ham friends. So, yeah.
Listen, I posted in your chat, Tony, said, look, I was pleased the fact that we were one step closer to winning the title, but I was also upset because we might have put the nail in your coffin to send you down. The only reason we were wise because my mum's cousin, 45-year season ticket holder at West Ham, I actually was on the phone to him. He got back from the game. And they said, what did you make of it? He said, I think the VAR bit was a farce. He said, but at the end, there you go through the entire season. We've only got ourselves to blame. We screwed ourselves up royally. And he said, yeah, he was just in tears, absolute tears. He was. And I said, so do you reckon he said, you reckon you're down there? So he said, barring Leeds miracle beating Tottenham tomorrow night, which we're all crossing our fingers and praying to die for, that does actually happen. You know, he thinks they're going down. I said, well, look at the bright side. So you could be playing Millwall next season.
Tony, it's a pleasure to meet you. I just got a question to ask, because for me, I think all your problems go back to whoever was the retard at West Ham that decided to hire Julian Lopetegui, because whoever made that decision to hire him must have never watched his Sevilla team. His Sevilla team was very good, but they never fucking scored goals. They used to miss sitters left, right, and center. I mean, they were in two. Okay, they looked at him because he beat Inter Milan to win the Europa League. Cool. And then the 2 years prior, he was in a La Liga title race up until the last 5 games, both of those seasons, and completely threw it away because he could never score goals. Who was the dumbass that decided to say, let's go pick this guy who, yeah, he's a defensive wizard, but we're not going to score goals, and maybe that's going to lead to us climbing up the table to be a consistent European contender? I mean, I think all your problems stem back from that more than anything. Am I wrong to say that? Or
no, not at all. You're speaking, absolute facts there. I mean, David Sullivan is the one that actually appointed him. And the worst part about it, even though Moyes was there, the deal had been agreed 6 months beforehand.
Oh, that's even worse. Yes.
So, when you look at something like that, and interestingly, as I said on my show, in certain respects, even though we couldn't understand a word he said sometimes when he did his press conferences, he, in respects, getting them 28 points beginning of the season actually saved us from being relegated. So when you look at that, if you look at a couple of seasons back, we should be in the Championship already. So the signs were already there. But as I said on mine, the day that we won the Europa Conference is the day that David Sullivan thought, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to invest. I've suddenly realised now we've won something. Now I've got to emulate that, and that's when he decided, you know what, not for me now, and that's where we are now. And it's been a long time coming. Sad to see it, kind of thing, because at the end of the day, and that with Moyes, even though some fans didn't like the style of football, 3 years in Europe. Some clubs can only wish for that kind of thing, and they're the things you've got to look at. We got where we are, and that's because obviously we had Moyes that did the right thing. Yeah, sometimes you couldn't agree with the football that was going on, but then again, if you look at what we've got at the moment, we've got Nuno in charge. Sometimes he gets it right. He then gets himself involved in doing silly decisions, making substitutions at the wrong time. I mean, the one that sticks into my head, and it's still a bitter pill to swallow at this moment, is the Bournemouth game. When we went down to their place, we was 2-0 up. Wilson scored 2 goals, and all we needed to get the third goal, shut up shop, job done. Hooked Wilson off on the 56th minute, went defensive for the remainder of the game. In the second half, don't lie. 2 shots from West Ham, 25 from Bournemouth. That's why we drew 2-2. And it's them kind of games that's really, it's basically cost us the season.
What does it go with regard of your financial situation? Because obviously, with you being relegated, if you do end up getting relegated, okay, you get the parachute payments as always, which is what 250 million or something along those lines. But that's just in the short term. We expect West Ham next, if you do go down, to get back up again. But as anybody knows, the Championship is a league that is unforgiving. You think automatically you'll go up straight away. You think you're like the Norwich City or the West Bromwich Albion, or as I like to call them, the professional football's yo-yo clubs, right? But it's not as straightforward as that to get out of the Championship because forget the fact that it's you got all your top teams and your middle of the road teams. Even the bottom teams are meant to be relegated. They're still going to go tooth and nail to actually try and upset you.
Of course,
that is it. I always look at the Championship as probably the most difficult division to get out of.
It's quite a tough league, yeah.
It is. I mean, look, we've been down there a couple of times, so we've got a bit of history. We know how to deal with it, kind of thing. The one saving grace is we haven't got to worry about David Sullivan going in the middle of the pitch and saying, "Let's be having you." We haven't got to worry about that sort of things.
Delia.
Yeah, but the biggest problem we've got is the fact that this ownership turned around virtually at the beginning of 2026 to say that we're £104 million in debt, and the first thing we've got to do is sell players. That's not the words you want to be hearing to get yourself out of trouble when you already are in trouble. The fact of, if you look behind me, that stadium there that we sold, the fact that we made 105 million from one player, nearly 55 million from another player, and the maths don't add up. I mean, if you look at it, they spent virtually 150 with Lopetegui on the players that he bought in, which were basically pants, no good whatsoever. So there's only a couple of players you can say that would have done a turn. I mean, the fact that you spent nearly enough 42 million on a defender that as soon as he sets foot on the pitch, basically, dark side, talking about the dark arts. As soon as Hillman steps foot on the pitch, dark clouds appear, the grass turns grey, and yeah, it's one of those. I mean, that poor side. I mean, and this is the sad fact about it. Any player who's kind of singled out at that point, what he must do for their mental ability is where the club's got to look after these players. That kid can't do anything right at the moment, and we're going to take a hit on that one, like we've taken a hit on most of the players that we've brought in with the Lopetegui. So yes, we are where we are because we're there for a reason.
Johnny said about your player Somerville could be sold because he's quite a decent player. He's a talent.
I'd take Somerville at Arsenal. I'd take him as a back. He's a better offer than any left winger we got at this club. I'd take Somerville in a heartbeat to be a bench player. I'd still go out and get a top quality left winger, but to have him come on, the fresh legs, the pace, the ability to dribble that he has, I'd love to see that for 25 minutes against tired legs for an entire season for Arsenal.
The problem we've got at the moment, Gianni, is the fact of the vultures are already kind of circling at the moment. They're perching on this floodlights as we talk. You've got the fact of Somerville's going to be a target. Fernandez is going to be a target. Juve's going to be a target. Possibly Bowen is going to be a target. You're going to have the likes of Wan-Bissaka will want to be moving on. You're going to see several players going on. We've got players that's coming near to the into their contracts. This is the problem. With Lopetegui, when he brought the players in, what he brought, unfortunately, instead of having a younger side, which if you look at it, that's what you did well this season, actually buying in younger players to give you that longevity. The problem with West Ham is we bought an aging squad, hoping that they're going to go and do a job.
Yep.
Jarrod Bowen to Liverpool rings a bell.
Yeah, it's been banned around a couple of times. The other club, though, which is also now kind of fresh into the mould, is Newcastle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Actually suits him better than Liverpool. But it all depends, though, because obviously Eddie Howe's probably going to get potted at the end of the season because Newcastle are not in a good space right now. But no, listen, moving back towards the Arsenal. Obviously, Jez, you had your say on that and so on. We're going to go to Champions League. We play PSG in the final, literally in 20 days' time. What are your thoughts going into that as it stands? Because one thing I will throw out there, and I'm glad Gianni's on because he might disagree with me, he might not. Gianni, do you think the way the Champions League brackets has panned out, i.e., like Arsenal come over the right side with a fairly easy run, by Leverkusen, Sporting, and Atletico Madrid, and so on, and on the other side you got PSG who have gone through, who went through Liverpool, they went through, they've gone through Liverpool, they've gone through Bayern Munich, and so on. And can't remember who it was they faced earlier. Oh, no, was it Chelsea? Did they play Chelsea?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chelsea, Liverpool, and then obviously Bayern Munich and so on. Do you think that the Champions League brackets, the way it's all panned out, i.e., PSG coming over the strong side and Arsenal coming over the weak side, is similarly identical to what we've seen from the NFL postseason of the season just gone, where the NFC was more dominant and the AFC was just whoever gets out of there actually is just going to represent them but still lose?
You never know. Here's the thing. The thing that we all hate about the season with Arteta is we're going to have to sit through and try to stink out a win against PSG. Because if we try to open up and play football against them, we're going to get crucified. There's no other way to put it. If Timber looks like he's out for the rest of the season, possibly even going to miss the World Cup. So if you're telling me right now, no. I don't want any more Chelsea rejects at Arsenal. We don't need any more of that bullshit.
We're done. Yeah.
But if you're telling me we're walking into this final with Calafiori and Mosquera as our fullbacks to go up against Varashelia and Desiree Doué, I'm sorry, it's not happening. And again, I've been saying this the entire time. We've gotten away in different matchups where our center back pairing, because we know Saliba's been hurt since the Liverpool game at the beginning of the season, they have had problems against these different matchups that they've had. The 19-year-old from Bayer Leverkusen gave us problems. We saw at different times Julian Alvarez and an older Antoine Griezmann gives us problems. I'm sorry. A full unless they get injured in this run to try to win the Ligue 1 title, if Vara, Dembele, and Doué are all ready to go 100% healthy and we are not, I do not see how we're winning this game unless we throw everybody behind the ball and try to do a haram ball for 90 minutes and stink out a 1-0 or a 2-1 or something. Because other than that, as much as I've appreciated the fact that they finally listened that that we need to put Lewis Skelly in the midfield permanently, because he's way better than this 70 million euro player that we bought in Zubamendi. Playing out, trying to play more expansive football against PSG is just not going to happen. Again, Hakimi's going to be ready to go. They've already said he's not going to play the last couple games. They're going to let Zaire Emery play at the right back. Hakimi's going to be ready to go for the final. I just don't see how we're going to beat these guys if we try to play open against them. We've struggled with pace the whole time, and this is the only team that I've seen the entire season that can go 100 miles an hour for 80 minutes out of 90 minutes. They take 5-minute breaks here and there just to get their legs rested, and then boom, they put the gas down again and go 100 miles an hour. I just don't see us beating them if we try to play open against them. I think we have to do haram ball to try to stink it out. So that's my thing with that. I don't think the brackets really mean anything, because there's been times in the Champions League where teams have made it through the easy side, and you say, oh, they've made it through the easy side and they didn't play any real good competition, they win. So I'm not a believer in that. If you're there, you deserve to be there. It's who shows up on the day. It's just you have to get your tactics right in this game. If we try to play open football against them, I think we may run into a similar scoreline like what it was for Inter last year.
Yeah, what I mean by what I said that was because it's not the fact that, you know, if we come out of the bracket, we're in the final, that's grand and that. It was basically the discourse I heard afterwards where when Seattle beat the Rams, basically everyone in discourse was saying who came out the NFC was going to end up winning the Super Bowl. And for me as a Patriots fan, I felt that was disrespectful until the actual Super Bowl where we got absolutely our head caved in. Yeah. Now on the flip side, you look at the Arsenal situation. All of the haters are turning around and saying, "Oh, PSG going to slap Arsenal. They're going to slap Arsenal." And all the top gooners are saying that's going to be disrespectful. The reason why I'm not jumping on that bandwagon is because of that I only saw this about 3 months ago in a different sport. Yep. I'm getting PTSD over the entire situation. So pardon me for, you know, having intrusive thoughts come out to actually have this situation again.
Yep.
Oh, if you look on, there's a post on Instagram. It's from Midnight Football, and also it's showing you obviously, you know, PSG versus Arsenal, and it's got 1700 obviously is the kickoff time, and their thing is here showing the scoreline 24 days before kickoff is taking the piss a bit, saying that, you know, PSG is going to slap you 17-0 kind of figure. You know, that just shows you the banter that's going at this straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, Tony, here's the problem. If this manager goes to try to play, listen, his subs today almost got us screwed.
Yes.
We said this before you guys hopped on. This game and that situation with Zubamendi shows that if he should possibly get sacked for making us spend 70 million on Zubamendi when Lewis Skelly's been there the entire time and has been ignored or forced out to left back.
You know what makes it even worse, more criminal, was that last season, when we wanted the left winger in January, he said we're going to look at internal solutions.
Exactly. Exactly. That's my point with that. If he tries to do something stupid like that, we're going to get crucified in this game. So it's my
also thing. Carl as well. Remember on Jen's channel, you said like PSG can also play a low block as well.
That second leg was a priority of they're a chameleon. They're a chameleon team. They'll beat you any way, shape, or form. They're like, I'll go a UFC round, shall we? They're like the Pierre St. Paul. Is it Pierre or George St. Pierre? No, that's it. George St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre.
Where he beats you in any different way. He'll beat you on the ground. He'll beat you in submission. He'll beat you at wrestling. He'll beat you as a striker. He'll beat you any way, shape, or form. That's what PSG do. They'll beat you in any way they see fit. And you bet your bottom dollar they'll come out and attack us, because I don't think they fit. I don't think PSG fear us at all. I don't think they do. They know they're beating us in the semi-final last year over 2 legs.
As George O'Dowd would say, they come and go. They come and go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. definitely. Big up PFC. I will take your moderator tour if you continue to antagonize Gianni here. If you need another player for Napoli, I could offer you Manuel Ugarte. I give you a discount.
Yeah. No, I don't need that.
No, don't need Ugarte. Thank you, mate. Antonio, what do you make of the Champions League situation with us facing PSG? What chance do you give us going into that final? I mean, a puncher's chance at best, but what do you think?
I think it depends on the manager what he does, because when was I was about to feedback what Jess said in regards to today's match. We just saw an example of what he does, where he puts on Zubimendi, he puts on Havertz, he puts on Odegaard. Fair enough, Odegaard contributed to the goal. Fair enough, but this manager can easily check on the hype. If he gets things right, it's great. If he gets things wrong, it's terrible. So, and the thing, like, we got fullback problems. We've got Mosquera at right back, which looks like it's going to be him, because Timber, I don't think he's going to make on time. Ben White is finished. Hincapi, I don't know if he's going to be back. If he is, great, but otherwise it's going to be Calafiora at left back. But then again, he takes him off. Maybe, yeah, today was tactical reasons, which meant shifting Lewis Kelly from midfield to left back. If he sticks with what he's done in these past 3 games, well, apart from today, where like he was, shuffling here and there unnecessarily, then I say we do have a chance, because the balance between Rice and Skelly in the midfield is phenomenal. Saliba and Gabriel, the partnership is phenomenal. Raya has been amazing. The fullbacks, query, but Saka, hasn't been doing too bad. Trossard as well. Gyökeres has improved. Eze, give a miss, but we can do it, but it's gonna be very tough, because PSG are a machine. We have to be careful with Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and etc. Also, Hakimi's going to get a rest, and apparently, PT Gunnar in the chat room said like PSG may get a 2-week rest compared to us, so they may be more fresher than we will be. So that's why I said if we can potentially win this league against Burnley, depending on Man City dropping points, rest the players against Palace, play the kids, so we can be fresh against PSG as well. But I believe that we can do it. However, PSG are favourites to win it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, PSG are definitely the favourites to win it. We are definitely the underdogs in this, but the underdogs will probably
which could be in our favour. Could be in our favour. You never know.
Yeah, it could be in our favour. All it takes is, if PSG starts scoring early in the first half, and it's oh crap, this is going to be a very, very long game. But the more the game is staying like 0-0 and we're into like the 65th, 70th minute of the second half, it's like, hang on, PSG are not scoring on Arsenal here. What's going on here? And Arsenal might just decide we might be able to nick something here at some point. Dark side, PSG, what are your thoughts?
There's a lot of variables to this game, man. A lot of variables. Like, for example, will either of our right backs be back? Will he play Rice at right back again? Will he be brave and start Lewis Skelly? Because for me, Lewis Skelly must start that game, otherwise we have zero chance of winning. Will he start that dusty blade with a captain? No Odegaard, no Asgard. Will he start Odegaard in the 10? Will he put Eze out wide? There's just so many different variables that, again, until I see the team sheet, I can't really make a decision. But at the same time, I do think we are the underdogs. I think PSG are probably 60% favourites. We're probably 40%. I think in a one-off game, I think we can beat them, but it's going to be a hard watch. It's not going to be an end. It's not going to be, it's not going to be like corner taking quickly, Origi. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to probably be a game of attrition, a movable object versus unstoppable force kind of thing. But listen, it's my first Champions League final as an adult, so I'm hoping we can get the win. I'm hoping we can get a star above that effing badge, man, because I've been waiting too long for this crap. I've been waiting too long, man. And yeah, it's just, it's annoying, man. It's terrifying. But I think if we do win the league, I think our chances of winning the Champions League goes up to 60%, and then PSG will probably become underdogs, because the confidence being champions and having a winning team, I think it will just make us play better. I think we'll be able to play with a bit more X factor. But if we somehow bottle the league from here, we are not winning that Champions League. I just believe I personally believe it's double or nothing. No pun intended.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Johnny, you got a bounce in 5, mate. Listen, thank you for coming on, bro. Much appreciated. It's good to see you back again, mate. Just let everyone know where they can find you and what you got coming up.
Yeah, appreciate you inviting me on, man. Gianni Talks Calcio TV. I will be back streaming this week. Had to take care of some stuff and had a little bachelor's party and a wedding, so that's why I've been gone. Rough drinking. It's been a long drinking week, so we'll be back streaming. We'll be talking about Serie A, how everything's gone on, and all of the lovely game fixing scandals and all the other scandals. And all the other
you're talking about today's game then? That's very good of you, Gianni.
That could be included.
Tony, if it makes you feel better, I'll talk about the West Ham and Arsenal game in Italian.
I'd love that. No problems too. Google Translate works wonders these days.
We'll be talking about that. Be talking about the Premier League. But yeah, just appreciate the invite, my guy. Hope everybody's doing good. Listen, man, let's get these 2 games out of the way. Let's end this fucking drought and win this goddamn Premier League title. Let's just get this out the way, man. I want. Man. I've been waiting to see this. I've turned all my family that are English are either Chelsea or United fans. I can't wait to throw this in their fucking face. Get this over the line. So big up to all you guys. Appreciate always seeing you guys. Antonio, Manny, Carl, Darkside, Tony, first time meeting you, Jim, James, and obviously the Godfather, Jez. Jez, if there was a way I can send you any of the wine, I would, but FDA regulations in America, we can't send homemade wine abroad. So
it's tariffs, isn't it? Tariffs is the problem.
No, it's not tariffs.
I thought tariffs.
I'll have to come and get it, mate. I'll have to come in the suitcase.
We bottled 540 bottles of homemade Cabernet this past weekend, or last weekend, not this recent one. So I definitely got enough for you if you want something. Big up to all you guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate it.
Ciao, Johnny.
Take care, man.
Ciao, mate. Ciao. Take it easy, sir.
Carl, before I've got to jump off the net because I've got to be up at 4:45 in the morning for work.
Oh, Jesus.
But I will thank Darkside for inviting me onto the show. It was him that got me on this in the first place.
You realise how much editing I got to do for that one clip?
Darkside, I'll never let you. I won't let you live it down. Don't worry about that.
Listen, I hope you stay up, mate. I hope you stay up.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, and pleasure as always. And Cole, good to you're back on the air, kind of thing, and hope it all goes well for you as well.
Big up to you,
Jez,
Tony, mate.
as always. Respect as always, and for all the others, Manny, been a long time, my friend, way too long. But enjoy the rest of the show. Hope you go well. And everyone, if you haven't always subscribed to these guys, please make sure you do. Look after them, support them, and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care for now.
You too, my guy. Pleasure.
Take care, Tony. Big up to you, bro.
Or some style.
In the description below. Jim, the PSG game on the 30th of May, what do you make of it? How much of a chance do you give us?
Well, I want to win the Champions League.
Go on, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right, just don't worry about it. As I was saying, I want to win against PSG because I want to win that Champions League. And if we win the Premier League, we got a chance of winning the Champions League. But if we battle the Premier League, we might lose the Champions League. So if we win against Burnley. Yeah, Burnley. It's always Burnley. Burnley. If we win against Burnley, like 6-0 or something.
Isn't that a scene off the In Between Us film, isn't it? I like football, but not Burnley. Burnley, fuck off.
Oh, bloody Burnley. If we win against Burnley, I've got confidence that we will win the Premier League. So I'll rub it in my mum's face and my dad's face and my sister's.
Who does support James then? Oh, James. Who do they support? Your family?
My mum's a United fan.
Oh.
My dad's a City fan.
Oh dear. Okay.
I'm the only Arsenal fan in the family.
You said your sister as well. What's your sister?
A City fan, Man City
Okay.
fan.
Blimey.
Jesus Christ on a bike. Jez, you've
If Arsenal
made it.
lose, I'd take the mick out of me. So,
Jez, you said many times that the Champions League suits us better to what it is in the Premier League. Obviously, we've got a very good chance of winning the league now. But going into this Champions League matchup, game of 90 minutes in the final, anything can happen. But this PSG team is a force to be reckoned with. Near enough 4 of their starting forwards are in the French national team. That just tells you all you need to know. And they're also one of the favourites to win the World Cup as well. But how do Arsenal try and stop PSG? How do they?
Well, look, I think it's a big ask. I won't lie. I have been saying since about October that I thought Arsenal were better set up to win the Champions League. I don't know. I just had a feeling about it. But we're up against a formidable force. There's no doubt about that. And it's all going to be down now. If we win the Premier League, the confidence will be sky high. The belief will be there.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem we've got is PSG have got 2 weeks of rest before we have to play them.
Yep.
Now that's a big trouble. And we cannot afford any more injuries. I'm pretty certain Ben White's now out. He's done his knee again. We don't need to play him. Next game up, Burnley home. They're going to want to come and spoil the party. Of course they are. The way they were playing today against Aston Villa, you can see their intensity. Even though they're down, they're finished, they're out. The players aren't yet on the beach, so it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But if we get the Premier League over the road, get the Premier League over and done, that will give us ultimate confidence. Crystal Palace away is always a slippery one, but their eyes on Europe now. Yeah, they're not doing anything in the Premier League. Their season's done. Are they that bothered? I doubt it. But they're going to want to spill. Of course, it's a London derby, man. They're going to want to spoil the party. But our defence, if we have the right defence on the day, I think we could cause some. How can I put it? Some issues for PSG. Our attack is certainly not up to the levels of theirs, as you just said. But you never know. It's a cup final. Yeah, we've done it before, and we've gone over the line and basically beaten teams in cup finals better than us at the time. Did it at Chelsea, did it at Man United back in the day, which I know we had a totally different team, but they had even better teams, in my opinion. But it's all now going to come down to this manager. Can he get his tactics? Can he get the team up for it? And all that. And then, of course, if he does do it, Champions League, Premier League, here we go for another 5 years, boys.
Yeah.
Does that go down as the greatest season Arsenal have had if they win the Premier League and Champions League? I know that's it's a sore subject, but in the reality that it could happen.
It could
Absolutely.
happen.
If it does, it'd be great.
Yeah.
You have to say, if this manager pulls off a Premier League, Champions League, right, double, you've got to give credit where credit is due, because we've never ever won the Champions League. We've only ever been in one final, of which we were cheated. But the fact remains, you have to say, well done. You can't knock it. You cannot knock it. He's going to be up against Enrique, so that's going to be an interesting match, a duel. If we win nothing, then he has to go, because I hear people saying, "I'll give him another contract." Why?
No.
If you failed, then you go. You had everything you wanted, but I'm pretty confident now. 95% the Premier League is ours. unless this manager does something absolutely ridiculous, like start the game with 7 players, I can't see us losing it. To be fair.
Yeah, I generally can't as well. PSV, you're getting on my nerves now, mate. You remind me of Will from the In-Betweeners. I apologize for this, guys. At PFC, you're an effing. Jesus Christ.
He's all right. He's a piss take.
I know he's a piss take. He's a United fan. He's got nothing to. He's got nothing to celebrate anyway. His team finishing third. They've won nothing. They're Houseplant FC this season for a reason. Anyway, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I've got to be up at 6:30 and I've got school and that.
Carl, you didn't
on,
ask my predictions about the final.
Go on, Manny. Sorry, my apologies.
That's all right. Look, again, I'm just a little bit cautious and slightly apprehensive. I think Ben White's absence, coupled with Jurrien Timber's possible absence, means that we will be forced to play Mosquera, because it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, because he is probably he is more defensive oriented than Ben White, more defensive minded than Ben White, but he's not a right back by trade, and I think Kvaratskhelia will have to be really ingenious to get past him. And then it's very important that we do play the right fullbacks and do not make sure that we don't go gung ho, because we've seen Calafiori, for example, get completely eaten up, and certainly Arteta's substitutions, aside from Odegaard today, worried me a great deal. But I just hope that we can put up a fight. But knowing this PSG as well as I do, as I said, they're you said that they're the chameleon. I said that they come and go, they come and go. We all remember the famous song. So I'm just hopeful that we can put up a fight, but I see PSG, just coming out on top. And as much as I, would love to be that type of person who would feel confident about winning the league, I still, like many others, have a lot of PTSD from other seasons gone by when, we could have had it, but we ended up letting it slip at the worst possible time. And, that's why we can never, ever be too confident about anything. And that's why I've said, never, ever think that, the job is done, because there can always be a slip up at any time. And that is why we've got to stay humble. We are not invincible just yet. And I do not want to, Jez, I don't know if you're a big James Bond fan or if you've seen the film, but you must know what I'm talking about, right, sir?
So again, mate, sorry, I didn't catch it.
No, because there's this quote, invincible. Oh. I don't know if you're a James Bond fan, but you must remember the film, right?
Yeah. My wife's a massive James Bond fan. Massive.
Yeah. And that's another reason why it is very important to stay on the top of things. Always do that. So
I hear you.
Let's just stay humble. The league is not won yet, as Erling Haaland would say, and just keep our feet on the ground. I hate to be that person who drags everyone down, but I will. That's just what I'm going to say. Yeah. And before we wrap up, I just want to bring James in. And James, let me ask you a question. Are you excited about Bournemouth, qualifying for Europe? Because I would love to see you qualify.
Yeah.
And do you think you will beat Manchester City and do us a big favour?
Yeah.
Come on, James. Come on.
Let me tell you right now that the week before last week, when you faced City at Dean Court, we're all rooting for you. Up the cherries in all departments. That's the name of the fan channel as well.
Up the cherries.
Yeah. And with that, that's all.
No worries, Manny. Thank you for coming on, mate. It's much appreciated. Antonio.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on, mate. Absolutely amazing stuff as always, and making your debut on here. We'll be talking to doing more of these code red meetings in the near distant future. Obviously,
absolutely, yeah.
Quite yet, because we're not shouting and screaming and hollering over anything right now. But listen, you're more than welcome to come back on anytime, mate. Just let everyone know where they can find you on your social media platforms and what you got coming up.
Well, thank you, Carl, for having me on your channel. It's been a pleasure. It's been fantastic with an elite panel of champions and true real football fans. No YouTube channel or anything like that. However, my Instagram, even though it's a personal one and not necessarily a sports one, is as follows: Antonio _unique79. So you can find me there. And thank you very much again, Carl, for having me on your channel. And big up to the panel as well as your chat room. And subscribe to everyone as well, guys. Please, to all these guys on the channel, on the panel.
All of us. Absolutely appreciate you like hell, mate. Dark Side. I don't know how many times now you've been on my channel, I've been on yours, but we keep bumping into each other and everywhere we go. So we've got to start doing a weekly thing at some point.
Yeah, trust me.
Listen, bro, thanks for coming on, mate. What have you got coming up?
Yeah, again, I've been delaying it, but I'm gonna start my show back up on Mondays, my Mutant Monday show, where I go through Twitter and show you all the tweets from the mutants from inside the fan base and outside the fan base. So stay tuned for Mutant Mondays. Just got obviously just the post-match reactions, pre-match warm-up stuff, and I'm going to be doing a new show with my co-host Kurdish as well. We're just kind of working out some kinks and stuff like that, and I'm going to be on Rory's show tomorrow as well, his Monday show. So yeah, man, just stay tuned, and hopefully we can celebrate some trophies this season at the end of the season anyway, and obviously Dark Side Gunner on all platforms.
Yeah.
Also, Dark Side as well. Show us mutant your biceps as well, mate. Come on.
Let's go. Let's go.
Jim, big up to you, mate. What have you got? Where can we find your social media platforms, bud?
Thanks for having me on. And my Instagram is Jimbo Joe 1989 37. And I'm going to create another channel, like EFL stuff and that, because I might be doing like EFL stuff, like who's the favourites to go up and down. I might do them stuff and do polls and that. And as I'm going to do like some watch-alongs for the EFL, because that might be getting interesting next season. And yeah, thanks for having me on, Carl.
No worries, bud. Just a quick question as well. Obviously, you're keeping an eye on the playoffs. Who's going up from the championship? Who do you think is going
Millwall?
up?
Millwall.
Oh, motherfucking Christ. Okay, that was a wasteful question.
I'd love to see Millwall to go up.
Hey, cheers. Memory lane, Millwall. Memory lane.
Of the two games I've seen so far, Middlesbrough are the only one that's half convincing to go up so far. I watched 4 watch-alongs in the space of 2 days. I saw 2 goals on the referee change. I don't know what I did in the past life to deserve that, but hey ho, I've fucking done it. Anyway, Jez, thank you for coming back on, sir. Much appreciated. You're always welcome on any time. And listen, big up to you, sir. What have you got coming up?
Got quite a bit this week, actually. On Tuesday night, 6 o'clock is the old school show with Kenny, DJB, and I think Aaron is joining me this week as a guest. Nice. And then I'm on a lot of other shows this week, and so yeah, I always like going on other people's shows because it's good to meet new people. James, that never met you before, my friend, and we get all the real ones like Jim, Manny, Antonio, Darkside, and of course the host Carl. So, and it's good to see you back, Carl. Yeah. So I've got a lot of things coming around this week, and then of course got the games coming up. And tomorrow night I will be watching the Leeds Spurs one. Leeds, please.
Please.
And if we get Millwall coming back up, it's gonna be fun day. It's gonna be fun days.
Very fun day, Jesse.
It's gonna be dark days for if you're a British Metropolitan Police officer. Millwall back into the Premier League. Anyway, James, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Much appreciated. Obviously, we've got your links in the description down below, mate. So thank you so much for coming on. Quick question: Are you getting Champions League? You're gonna make Champions League. Good man.
Come on, man. Come on.
Obviously, if Aston Villa win the Europa League, that gets the 6th place of Champions League spot, which is where Bournemouth are currently. So, fingers crossed. Can you imagine mighty Real Madrid going to tiny little Bournemouth on a Wednesday night?
Yeah.
They did actually go to Bournemouth for a pre-season game, and they won 6-0, and that actually was not too long after Carlo Ancelotti replaced Jose Mourinho. And that season was ended with Ancelotti winning both the Copa del Rey and Real Madrid's 10th Champions League title, La Decima. So Bournemouth might just be a bit of a good luck charm. And yeah, it would be lovely if Bournemouth and Real Madrid got together. So I think some good memories will be there from that. And speaking of Bournemouth, I do have a plug as well. I am working with Craig Beasley from Up the Cherries and All Departments, which is how our friend James got into the channel. And of course, Carl knows him very well, having been on a stream with both him and me. And we're doing a stream, a recording tomorrow for a stream of a series called Football Has a Problem. And we will be discussing the 3 p.m. kickoff. So this isn't a live stream. It's being recorded and it will be uploaded and released for the next day. So if you can watch that and subscribe to the channel, Up the Cherries and All Departments, that is UTCIAD. And Craig was already in the chat. Do please follow that. We do a lot of good work on the channel, and I love being a part of the channel. A nice way to get out of my Arsenal echo chamber and talk about issues concerning the entire game. No disrespect to all of you, but sometimes when it comes to talking about Arsenal, my blood pressure takes a bit of a hit, to be honest.
Hey, Manny, you sent me a link to a channel the other week. I tried to join it. It wouldn't let me in.
That was the call-in show with Carl, Kenny, Ken, and Misa. But that was the correct link. I tried. I don't know if because Kenny Ken got the same link. But next time I will make sure if we have a call-in show, you will be given first priority. I promise.
No.
And James, thank you as well.
May have been.
Yes, sir.
me.
You were saying?
Yeah. Cool. Right. No worries. Cheers, man. Thank you very much for that. Okay, guys. That's the end of this little stream.
Peace out, guys.
Listen,
Peace out, guys.
it's the end of the Code Red meeting. Let's have a chilled out week. Knowing Arsenal now don't play until Burnley next Monday. But for anybody on this channel, make sure you're liking and subscribing to everyone. To Manny, to Antonio, to Darkside, to Jez as well. So yeah, go check us out. Subscribe to everybody. Tomorrow night I will be doing the second leg watch along for Millwall versus Hull City, 0-0 currently, so not really anything to write home for. So so I'll be doing the watch along for that, and then on Tuesday, obviously we've got the Southampton versus Middlesbrough second leg one to keep an eye on as well. So thank you everyone for watching. Smash the like button, hype the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We do have a link in the chat, and that is obviously DJB. He's currently live right now doing his Sunday sit back show. So go show him some love. Ruthless Gooner raid. And we're getting on out of here. Thank you to everyone that's watched. Good night. God bless. 2. I repeat, 2 wins. And the league is back on the red side of North London.
Come on, you Gunners.
Sayonara.